Kwa kutupa fursa kuzungumza na wewe, tungependa tu kujua kwa ufupi kabisa, ukianzia na jina lako, ni nini kimetuleta hapa haswa?
Majina, mimi naitwa John Yahya Nene, na leo tunaanzisha kampeni ya president. Ndio.
Labda tupe full brief kidogo.
Okay. English or Kiswahili? Okay. Yeah, this is a decision that has been formed by a group of young, focused, patriotic, and visionary leaders. It's something we started way back in 2009. We've been mobilizing as young leaders. It's only this time that we've decided to step in. But it's not that we are new in politics. I started my politics as a youth leader in ODM. Later on, I joined Labour Party, and then I joined Alliance for Real Change. I was the chief strategist for Mwalimu Abdu Badida. I later joined Dr. Kuru Okot in his party. So all this time we've been looking for an alternative leader, because you see, since independence, we had those people who fought for the independence, and the guys who took over are their sons and their friends. And at independence, the guys who fought for independence had a vision. Their vision was to get rid of the colonial system. And they didn't even have resources or what, but they were focused and they did their part. But the people who came after them, the second liberators, also they had a vision. They had a vision to create a more democratic space, multipartyism, and the epitome of that fight was the new constitution. We give them credit where it is due. But later on, they perfected the art of corruption. You can remember that during Moi's time, the biggest scandal that was there was the Goldenberg scandal, which was 39 billion. During Kibaki's time, it was 200 billion. Can you imagine during Jubilee time, it's ranging between 5 to 7 trillion Kenya shillings in terms of corruption. So these guys, when they removed Moi from power, they did not know what to do after that, because a human being has a limited capacity. So they have just been enjoying what Moi used to do. They have even upscaled it to a level now that the country is bleeding in debts, the country is bleeding in poor economic development, and the people who are suffering the most are young generation, because their future is compromised. When all the money that is supposed to be used for development is diverted into individual accounts, then development cannot be achieved. And the same people who have been perpetrating this are the same people who are coming in the name of, we want to change this, while they are not telling us how they are going to dissolve their businesses that are benefiting directly from the government coffers. So it's not that we are begging these people to get out. Nobody wants to leave power. We just have to push them through the right channel. We thank them for keeping to remind us every now and then that we are leaders of tomorrow. That tomorrow that they've been promising us is today. Now we have to get them through the right channels. We thank the second liberators for bringing multi-party democracy. Nobody is stopping anybody from creating a political party and fighting for the right cause. So we have our plans, we have our strategies, and myself have been a chief strategist in politics, and I've never lost. Yes.
So what strategies do you have, and at the same time, what does "it's our time" mean?
Yeah, the first thing, to stop corruption is to make sure that institutions are stronger than individuals. One thing is to get politicians from financial management. Another thing that we need to implement, and Kenya is it's a fast-moving country, I think the best in the world, even in terms of technology. We want to systematize financial management system. We want digitally managed financial systems, and politicians should be completely out of the system. We want efficient and informed government policies that are trickling down to everyone, so that people can enjoy the numerous natural resources that we have, and also the human resource that we've developed over time can be put into proper use. Yes.
William, and I would like to ask, we've seen that other politicians or other people who want to vie for president, they have their models, like, for example, Ruto has the bottom up, and Raila has what strategy for Kenyans?
You see, Ruto has his bottom-up economic development. There's nothing, first of all, called bottom-up economic development. There's only macro and microeconomic development. So this bottom-up of, taking advantage of the poor people is not an economic agenda. Anybody who has economic agenda must have economic blueprint with budgets and timelines. And economic development is not pegged on microeconomic. Microeconomic development cannot develop a country. You must tell people how you are going to improve the macroeconomic development. Right now, the thing that is really interfering with the business is that politicians themselves are businessmen. Politicians are not supposed to be businessmen. They are supposed to overlook how the money and resources are spent. Business needs quick decisions. Politics is full of bureaucracy. We must let the business people do their business. I'm not afraid to say that some families own business. Not only do they own businesses, they are stopping other people from entering into the business space. That should not be the case. And if that is the case, then the country cannot move. So mine is that we have a generational mission to achieve. That's why my motto is, it's our time. But the thing that we are going to focus on is economic development that can trickle down to everybody equal. Kenya has very brilliant people. Kenya entrepreneurs. They are big. They are guys who are doing very well. Yet there's no space. There's no fair space for people to enjoy what they can do. So it's just creating the systems to work for everyone so that anybody can use his talent to achieve what he wants.
So let's talk about the youth, because we understand that we are the majority.
Yes.
Youths ndio wengi yani. So how will they benefit from your motto, it's our time?
First of all, recently I was watching an interview on TV about the young leaders in these big political parties, and I admire one particular young man who talked out of his heart. He's the KANU youth leader. And what he said is that the reason why these guys are taking advantage of us is that there are few people who are very organized, and we are a majority who are not organized. And the guy stated categorically that if we get somebody who is focused, who is ambitious, and who is strong, who can lead the vision, and we organize around him, these guys will go home in the morning, very early in the morning, because we form 75% of the voters. And if you look at the voter registration, the recent one, 5 million youth refused to take the voter's card. They refused. They said, why would we keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results? What is a big deal if Kalonzo Musyoka and Oka team meet with Uhuru? What is the big deal about it? These guys know each other. It's just, they're just playing some useless games on Kenyans. And the game has now been mastered. I'm telling you, if young people can identify their potential, their energies, their visions, the future of this country belongs to you. You are the majority voters. You are the biggest stakeholders. You are the future of this country. These guys have secured their resources enough to take care of their children. And you see, one thing that is ailing Africa, we don't have intelligent leaders. Currently, I can say without fear of contradiction, I do not have a role model in these guys who are calling themselves leaders. Maybe if we look at the current situation, if we leave the history, the current leaders who are trying to build their countries is the guy from Botswana, is Kagame of Rwanda. And who is this guy? This Kagame, Botswana. These are people who are trying really to help their people. But our leaders, they have narrow mind. When you're a leader, you are supposed to view your country as your family. Not that you just think about your close family, your nuclear family, and the friends around you. So these guys don't have a bigger vision. We need to mobilize our country resources to benefit from the global market. We are not supposed to just see how do we siphon the country coffers into our pockets. Now, another thing you see, even during the savage days, those old people, if you read your history, people used to steal resources from another community to benefit their community. These are the only crop of leaders, for lack of a better word, who are very narrow mind, that they are stealing resources that is meant to benefit their people and putting into their pockets. And that is a very dangerous thing. So we have to create systems whereby politicians are very far from resources.
Yes. One question. Politics is a game of chess. Yes. So are you ruling out any perhaps collaborations with other presidential candidates? Are you ruling out that? Are you going into mano a mano like you alone?
My vision and my strategies and my aspirations is like mixing oil with water. We'll never rhyme with these people who are in the current political situation. I cannot even sit with them down. I've worked with these people. I was in ODM. I have worked close. closely with these people. At least we can give Raila Odinga benefit of doubt, because during at their time they fought for something. But this bunch of goons around Ruto and his team, these are people who should be, we cannot have that even in the global map. How do we look? Having that kind of crop of leaders, and we say these people are representing us. So my mind and conscience is very clear. My strategy is very clear. Whatever I want to achieve does not rhyme with the people who are in the current politics. And I don't even need them in anything. Yes.
Questions here. What party are you running under? Number two, running a presidential candidate. Do you have the resources and budget to move around the country and move behind the people around?
Okay. I will not disclose my political party right now for reasons that we know, but I'm going to mobilize around a political party. I'm not an independent candidate, because we have to get our grassroots leaders in every county. So we have a political party. Today I'm just launching my personal presidential bid. But from January we are going to launch our political party. It is there, we've structured it, and it is ready.